A month ago I reacted to your hot takes, but I did not finish all of them that I wanted to finish and I wanted to make a part 2. If you have any hot takes, drop them in the comments of this video. If there are enough of them, I will make a part 3. If rolls are boring, it's not fun instantly being cleared and then dying as soon as BG is gone. I have to agree because honestly there's not too much thought going into the most info rolls. You just need to summarize and know who are like unchecked, silent and have a counter claimer, and then that's everything you really need to do most of the times. The exception of course being sheriff, because that actually requires thinking. I don't know if the current system is not easy and quick or not, because I've never really gotten in touch with it. But I do agree that the report system should be an only option after the game ends. Maybe something like hate speech should be able to be done like early, because that is definitely something you can just immediately act on. And especially if there's like guardians actively watching, then you just want to have that done quickly so that more can be prevented, you know. But in terms of game throwing and teaming and everything like that, I do agree that I think it's better to only have it at the end of the game, because you never really know if someone is sected, coupled, instigated. You often see people who are not really on the team that you think they are on. Shooting villagers can be great sometimes, for example, to confirm crucial information. That is true, especially if you are shooting villagers that are unclaimed or unchecked or have a lot of counterclaims. Like shooting RV villagers can be beneficial because you can immediately point out someone that someone is not RV or just giving fake info. Of course, it's better to shoot the wrong player, but shooting villagers that are like still contested are not per se bad. If you roll a dice and you roll like 6 and then you're gonna shoot 6, then it's a random kill. But yeah, if you have a little suspicion on someone, it's not really a random kill, but you should be able to explain why you do it. And I am someone who always explains it before I do it, if I can. And if I have to act really quickly, I will make sure to immediately explain why I did it afterwards, because it really helps when explaining why you do certain things. People get smarter because of it, people get a better understanding, that's what I mean. And also, people get less salty if they know that they are actually at fault and not that you are just randomly killing. Yeah, well, that depends on the game mode, I think. Because if you play in a sandbox of quick game, then the villagers will rely too much on informers, they will not claim anyways, and the evils will not claim either, most of the times. So then yes, a priest can like kill someone, but it's only gonna confirm one case, and then I think an informer is better to revive, as long as there's protection. But in highly competitive scenes, I would definitely revive a priest with water over an informer, because they can confirm someone as not werewolf and also get a crucial kill sometimes. So, as Red Lady, if you're not planning on visiting, any other claim is better in your actual. Well, if you are not gonna visit and you claim Red Lady, what would happen in that case? For some reason my mind just disconnects at the moment. Maybe I will come back later. I disagree, because the summoner is still a +1 material use, and shaman is a skill roll. If you have a good player behind a wolf shaman, then possibly the shaman can be stronger, but most players are not good shaman players, so then I would say summoner werewolf is stronger, because it's more likely that you will get a use of it, even if you're just wasting a voting phase or 1 bullet from the village. That's already worth it quite a bit. That is really interesting. Theo is very dependent on who dies first. It's better as an affirmative informer, because you just know if a villager dies and someone is happy or not happy, you just know you have to shoot them or keep them alive. But other than that, detective is much more consistent, I think, with the info. Like, at least you're guaranteed daily info. At some point though, the detective gets useless, that is true. Like, in the end game, detectives are kind of useless, especially when it's, well, I would say a case of full versus solo that does also count for the VO. But yeah, then you really need a role that separates, like a seer that would help against solo or full, but it also helps if you have something like a spirit seer. I want a role contest again. That's definitely not a hot take. That's just someone shouting for a role contest, and that will come soon. Yeah, well, somewhere this year. I think it's valid earlier as well, but from day 3 it's a must, I would say. Like, if you don't roll call day 3, unless everyone is exposed, of course, then you're not going to roll call, because that's just, like, useless. But I would say if this comment also implies that roll calls before day 3 are invalid, which I'm not sure, but it could be the case, then I definitely disagree. Because I think that the sooner you figure stuff out, the better it's gonna give you, the better your chances are at winning, and that's what it's about. And as werewolf, you have to counter it by claiming roles. And if you're too lazy for that, then it's a skill issue for the werewolves. That's how I think of roll calls. If there's unknown info, or people are like compared with each other by the detective and they're not on the same team, then roll call them immediately. Like, why would you give them the time? There's no reason to give them time. You're just gonna give werewolves time to get an extra kill, essentially. That is an interesting take, and it really depends on the game mode, in all honesty. Sometimes I feel like the village might be overpowered. I would almost say if the werewolves put up a really great fight and they are not even close to winning the game, then the village is OP. And the village can be OP because random slots exist. And if you have an RV, Astro, and Mayor, or a Witch, or Marksman, that definitely does make the village OP if you compare it to an RV Flower Child, or an RV Doctor for whatever. So that definitely does shift. Also, roll cards make it shift. I cannot speak for ranked though, because I don't really know the ranked setup out of my head. I only know there's 3 RVs basically, and I know a couple roles that you will not see in ranked. But this one is like, I'm 50-50 on this. Instigator is actually a very broken, unbalanced role. Ooh, that's hard. If you compare it to Cupid, it's stronger than the Cupid, because I would like to compare this to the Cupid, if anything. It is much stronger, but it's also less RNG based, because a Cupid can, if they couple 2 werewolves, you're gonna give the werewolves a huge disadvantage. The village is gonna have a much easier time usually at winning the game, especially if the werewolves aren't great claimers. And if the village is somewhat competent, of course. And if you've coupled 2 villagers, you're gonna give the werewolves foremost an advantage. So I would not think it's an unbalanced role. It's just stronger than Cupid, but it's like less RNG based as well. So I don't think it's broken. But it also depends on if it's combined with what other evils. Because if you have a strong evil lineup, then it is kind of broken. If you have more hot takes, and if you want me to make a part 2 or something, leave them down in the comments, like in this comment section. If there's enough hot takes and enough demand for more, then I will make a new video. I'll see you later, and don't be a traitor. Goodbye. If you loved what you just saw, then make sure to check out this juicy video I have here for you. You can also subscribe and turn on epic notifications to never miss a future upload. My social links, including Discord server, are in the link tree. Link is in the description. I will see you later, and don't be a traitor.